When The Exorcist premiered in 1973, cinemas across the United States reported people fainting in their seats. Some were even taken to hospitals. Others walked out in shock, only to find themselves drawn back into the theater. This wasn't just a rumor. It was a widely documented phenomenon reported by major newspapers. So what made this film so uniquely terrifying, even for skeptics? Before The Exorcist, horror movies were clearly fictional. You had monsters, vampires, and creatures from another world. They existed in Gothic castles or faraway lands. But The Exorcist did something radically different. It presented demonic possession as a kind of medical and religious case study. The story unfolded in a normal modern home. It featured doctors running tests, priests following procedures, and a sense of clinical detachment. It looked real, and that was the core of the problem. It blurred the lines between a movie and a documentary. The public reaction was unlike anything seen before. During its initial run, cinemas hired paramedics to be on standby. Religious groups issued public statements warning their followers. Psychiatrists were brought onto news programs to comment on the film's psychological impact. Even churches reported a noticeable increase in attendance. This wasn't because everyone suddenly believed in demons. It was because the film masterfully exploited the gray area between known mental illness and the terrifying unknown. That profound uncertainty is what disturbed people to their core. The film's true genius was that it never demanded you believe in possession. Instead, it asked a series of much more uncomfortable questions. What if science can't explain everything? What if the authority figures we trust, doctors, scientists, even priests, don't have all the answers? These were potent fears in the 1970s, a decade already defined by widespread distrust in institutions and experts. The film tapped directly into that cultural anxiety. The cultural impact was immediate and long-lasting. After The Exorcist, possession became a serious mainstream horror theme. The genre itself shifted away from fantasy and monsters toward a gritty psychological realism. Almost every modern possession film you can think of, from The Conjuring to Hereditary, owes a direct debt to the groundwork laid by The Exorcist. It didn't invent fear. It completely reframed it for a modern audience. But because it suggests something far more disturbing, that human understanding has limits. And that idea, that terrifying possibility, hasn't aged one bit.